This is the longest flight I've ever taken, so fittingly we're doing it in style, going 14 and a half hours from Doha to New York in business class. When we pulled up curbside, a porter was waiting to carry our bags in for us, and we went into the special priority check-in lounge they have in Doha. There's a sitting area here in case you just want to hang out, I guess, but instead we're headed through our own security and immigration area before finding the main business class lounge they have here. This lounge is beautiful. Downstairs is kind of like open seating, but upstairs is table service where you have a server, but you can also just go to the buffet and up to the bar instead. If I'm in a fancy place, the first thing I'm always trying is the cheese, and these didn't disappoint. I will say probably the only negative of the whole experience for us is that the breakfast menu in these lounges really does not compare to the lunch and dinner menus. You look at lunch and dinner and it's like fine cuts of meat and fancy seafood, and then breakfast is like the most basic brunch spot you can find in any city. On the other end of the terminal is the Garden Lounge, which we decided to go check out. It's a little more open and really pretty, and also has a kids playing area, which was great. Food-wise, they have all the same offerings as the main lounge, and knowing that there's a sushi buffet during lunch and dinner, if you ever get to do this, definitely time your flights for one of those. Then we were off to our gate where you go through a second security and went to find our comfy QSuite seats. The special thing about QSuites is that if you're flying with someone you know, the entire divider in between your seats goes down, so Brooke and Isla's seat basically turned into one bed. Of course, first thing was to check out the amenities kit and these blankets that were so comfy that we took with us. I'm told these are nice brands, and quickly we were given a glass of champagne while we waited on the ground and took out our menus to order breakfast, which would be brought to us pretty soon after takeoff. Especially doing this with our kid, the flight attendants were so sweet. They were really eager to check on her and make sure she was okay, and went over the top to make her feel comfortable ordering anything she wanted. The screens we had were super nice, and pretty quickly we were all settled in, ready for takeoff. Anytime we got food, they came in and made up our table with a white tablecloth. It's one of those things that like feels over the top, but also is like kind of nice to pamper yourself with. The breakfast itself was fine. I don't know, maybe I just have too high of a standard for breakfast food. The bread and the yogurt were my favorite part. Then of course we had to check out the bathroom. The sprays and soaps they had in here smelled so good. And then got changed in the pajamas they gave you. Another bummer is that they didn't have kid-sized pajamas. When I came back, they had already made up my seat for my bed, and Isla had on her toothiest grin watching them make everything up. It was so cute. Even though the entire divider obviously doesn't go down between our seats, there was at least a window I could put down so I could hang out with them and talk to them the whole time. One of the major differences with being up here is that you can order whatever food you want whenever you want. You're not really stuck to like the meal times that happen in economy. And you also don't get caviar in economy. And obviously that's like the sexy thing, but I will say that just the quality of the food overall was so good. And being able to get like real coffee was nice too. We booked these one-way flights for about 50,000 points each, which feels like such a steal, especially being on the plane for so long. And we're able to find that award availability like 7 to 8 months in advance.